Hi everyone, and this is Pyjama Talks for the WebExpo. And today our guest is Tom Castley. Hi Tom.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So you're Vice President of Outreach.
Vice President of Europe, yes.
So you're Vice President of what direction? Sales, marketing, or engineering?
The office that I'm in charge of is our go-to-market operations. So that would include sales, service, professional service, customer success, and operations. And then the reason I'm in Prague today is we have a fantastic development team which we've been building out here to complement the US team. So we have, I think today, 76 developers in Prague, and they're growing like crazy.
Why Prague? Why Prague?
Has a fantastic set of capabilities, resources, and talent. I mean, you only have to look at the companies who are building development operations here. From a Prague standpoint, some of the leaders in our development team in Seattle are ex-Microsoft. Microsoft has a big footprint here, and so they were just aware of the talent that was available on the market. Yeah.
And Outreach is not focused only for Europe or Czech market, it's a global company, right?
We are a global company, yeah. So we're biggest in the space, have about 6,000 customers now, all the way from kind of big global organizations like SAP, Cisco, Zoom, all the way down to really small organizations like Deployed in the UK, which has about 15 employees, are using our products, our services to help drive their revenue engines in their business.
What is Outreach? What do you do?
If you asked our customers what we did, they would tell you that we helped them to build pipeline quicker. We've reduced the amount of time it takes to onboard new people as you grow. We provide efficiency during the sales process, so we optimize the productivity of that. We then provide predictability because of the data we're collecting. It informs the revenue organizations, and then we drive growth. So 19 of the 25 fastest growing software companies in the world all use Outreach.
Wow. So Outreach is a SaaS platform, right?
Yes.
And so we're at the WebExpo conference, and as any SaaS platform, you focused on web mostly, right?
Yes, a lot of tech companies have bought into Outreach and get it. We're now seeing, actually, because of the impact of the pandemic and the move to digital selling, and the fact that everybody's on Zoom or Teams or Google Meets, and we don't have a mobile phone, a plane ticket, and a notebook anymore. It's all digitized. Actually, that's become a huge opportunity for us. One, to help organizations adopt that change, but also to take the benefits from it, which is ultimately kind of the digital footprint of sales has suddenly exploded. And there's now a lot more information that we can to help to manage, to optimize, automate, and then to provide analytics around.
You said a great thing that right now the window of opportunities, like, it's super wide because everything is digital, but at the same time competition is super strong, right? Because there are plenty of other companies go digital.
There is a kind of one of the moves in the market is sales tech is kind of coming of age. And so, it used to be that CRM was the one and only tool for salespeople, and everybody used it. And now I think in one of the studies I looked at recently, there's like 13,000 companies selling sales tech. And frankly, with the level of adoption there is now, companies are sick and tired of trying to work out which bit they need and trying to plug them all together. So in some of our primary research, what we've seen is that kind of alpha or Uber platforms are going to come about. There's going to be a lot of M&A, there's going to be a lot of development, and companies want to choose a vendor of choice. Even in the last few weeks, we've seen Seismic have acquired Lessonly. We've seen People.ai become a unicorn. A massive amount of movement just over the summer as people are starting to create platforms, which is what Outreach has, rather than looking at kind of just micro functionality.
You said, the really good thing about micro functionality, but on the other hand, like, what do you think right now? Markets B2B, like old school enterprise B2B, one salesperson goes somewhere and plays golf with the vice president. Is it the same as it was before? Because we see a lot of B2C companies. For example, we at Prague, we love this example because they are our competitors, like Monday.com.
Right.
They don't do much of B2B, mostly B2C, and they raised 1 billion, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's looks like B2C and the small micro, like $1 customer, it's raising again. Or it's not true, and B2B, like to big companies.
Even back in 2017, one in seven buyers had already expressed a preference for a digital sale interaction. They prefer working through digital channels. That was enforced last year, and Gartner will say that by 2025, 80% of all selling will be done remotely initially.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end, the contracting phase, there will be a face-to-face meeting. Some organizations are even consider charging for that face-to-face meeting because there's a premium service. Yeah. If you also consider, 50% of the economic buyers in the world now are millennials.
Yeah.
They're digital natives. Yeah. They buy in committees. And if those organizations are promoting remote or hybrid working, the chances of getting those people together all in one room is limited. So for me, the idea of the old guard of a mobile phone, a day book, and a golf and beers, that's gone. And the most successful organizations in the world will embrace what this provides. And the follow-on benefit from that is when you're collecting this empirical telemetry level data, that actually gives us an opportunity to change the world of sales from being intuition-based to actually being data science-based and forecasting with a level of accuracy that organizations should want and the markets need.
Don't you think that, like in this segment, like digital sales, and people are a bit tired of all the marketing floating around, because you go somewhere, you will see advertisement all around, like Facebook, banners, emails, all this like digital noise is around us, and people are a little bit tired of it. And this is harder for companies to sell something online, digital, because digital noise is everywhere.
Yeah, I guess from an e-commerce kind of a B2C standpoint, I could see that. From a B2B perspective, you are absolutely right in that what Zoom or other kind of conferencing platforms have done is ensured that we actually all have the same real estate.
Yeah.
Going to a big Oracle, Salesforce, or SAP's big impressive offices versus some small startup, we all look the same on Zoom.
Yep.
And so that creates a huge opportunity. But it also means that selling organizations have to personalize, have to respond better in the moment to what they're hearing from the customer. So what you'll see from outreach, coming on what we're talking about is augmenting that process with AI and machine learning that will actually help the sales rep in the moment determine, are you talking too much? Have you asked the right number of questions? Is the customer engaged? When the customer asks a tough question, prompt them with an answer. That level of kind of coaching, like your CEO is with you on the call, is what will make a difference. It's the service that you provide.
In this case, what do you think will, like this automated system, machines, machine learning, artificial intelligence, can replace a person? I mean, because it is very hard to find a good salesperson. And if everything goes digital, it's double harder, because you need someone who can present charisma and other stuff online.
Yeah.
But will we have completely replaced by machines?
I can't see that in my lifetime. And it's interesting, the kind of perception around sales as well. So sales has changed.
Yeah.
The old version of smoozing, the black book of contacts who you know and all the rest of it, that's very much gone. And when you think about sellers today and the skills and attributes that organizations are looking for, curiosity would be one, so genuinely curious. Yeah. They're actually more service orientated, and they're thinking about providing a service, not just literally trying to sell the next thing that comes along, right? And the other dimension to that as well is people buy emotionally and they justify rationally. Ultimately, the emotional sell requires a huge amount of data to input into that process. But ultimately today, it's still best delivered and served by a person.
Yep.
Because that emotional sell requires rapport, it requires relationship, and it requires trust. Machines can help augment that and can inform that process and can help me prepare for a better meeting with you. Can give me a sense of how you're reacting to what I'm saying, and then the salesperson can pivot in the moment. The second part, the rational process, I can see more automation coming into that, absolutely. We're now in project and program management mode, and the customer is trying to work out, how do I take this decision and bring it to life in my business?
In 10 years or so, will we see some like, for example, right now, in many companies, sales department and engineering department, they completely separate. Will we see kind of like they working together, and salesperson have some technical knowledge, and technical person have sales knowledge, and it's like a full stack, not developer, but full stack employee.
So I said to you before, digital selling or digital enabled selling. Everything you got back from the selling organization was judgment based. It was one person's opinion over another. This summary of a meeting, if a developer was saying, well, when you're going into meetings, what's coming up? And people just remember the negatives. So everything, we didn't have this functionality, or we couldn't do that. And so the level of information, the level of clarity and alignment between the selling organization and the team responsible for building the products was kind of broken. And that's why there's been an explosion in product management, product marketing. Every call, every email, every meeting, every social interaction is captured, and metadata is applied to it as well to kind of contextualize it. And that's written to a system of record. It's transcribed and indexed, which is what happens for all of Outreach's customers. Development now have access to the lowest common denominator data. They can dig in and explore, well, okay, how are sales going? They can remove the salesperson's voice and just listen to the customer. That golden question, what's causing you to change? And what initiatives are you working on today? If you could capture that from hundreds of sales calls, the development organization would be so informed about what the customer's looking for that product and innovation cycle will just explode. Yeah. Really exciting.
Yeah. And today at WebExpo, you will talk about these things, or you will talk about completely different topics?
I'll be talking about the rise of the revenue innovator. Mm-hmm. So this is recognizing that the most successful sales leaders out there today have already pivoted and understood that we are well on the way of moving from intuition-based sales leadership to data, over-indexing on data and technology to inform and create more of an empirical view of what selling is. Think of outreach kind of becoming the general ledger of sales, collecting the data, and then the sales leaders becoming more finance-orientated, providing that predictability and efficiency in their organizations.
Right now, the audience for this video or for this conference is very broad. There are a lot of designers, developers, maybe influencers or CEO. So maybe if you have one advice in this digital marketing / sales to broad audience, what to learn or what to know in upcoming years, like how to develop myself in this direction.
Number one, I think the way organizations buy technology now has changed. They will land and they will expand. So I would be looking to either work for or design or influence the direction of a company to say, how do we land and then grow within a business? It will be about retention and net revenue retention, which is how much we can grow an organization over, say, 2 or 3 years. Companies are now not buying in a big bang approach. Number two for me would be looking to organizations who ultimately are taking advantage of kind of the digital way that we're going in. So applications that can, as a byproduct of people using them, collect data and they're virally useful. If you were to make your application available, people would want to use it for them, and then think about, okay, how can I explode the usage? But then from day one, be thinking about, when I get data from thousands and thousands of people, what can I do with that? So collect it, model it, understand it, and then ultimately for me, the most valuable organizations in the world have all monetized the big data. So it's a viral collection strategy, a very good understanding very quickly around what the data model is going to inform, and then work out how to monetize that data model to then optimize the process that you started off with in the first place.
Thank you very much. It was Tom Castley, Vice President of EMEA of company Outreach, and good luck with your talk. It's going to be awesome, outstanding.
I'm looking forward to it now.
Yeah, thank you.
Warmed me up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.